as a form of resistance. Today, we are looking at potential solutions to what might be deemed the most dangerous or the most worrying time in US history, considering population decline. I'd like to play a video for you. Have a listen to what the statistics and to what the experts have to say about population decline and how strong relationships could be a solution to that problem.
Is flirting with a historic milestone this year. For the first time since the government first started counting in 1790, the US population may actually shrink in 2026. Even if that line isn't crossed just yet, experts across the immigration debate agree on one thing. Trump's second term is speeding the country towards a tipping point where immigration no longer makes up for fewer births and more deaths that we see in an aging population. The tougher the immigration crackdown, the sooner population growth stalls or reverses altogether. New census data released shows just how close the US already is. Between July 2024 and July 1st of 2025, the population grew by only 0.5%, or about 1.8 million people, the slowest growth rate seen since the pandemic. The biggest reason? Net migration fell sharply, dropping to 1.3 million people from a high of 2.7 million the year before. Census experts now expect that number to plunge even further, possibly to just 316,000 people by July of 2026, with the country trending towards what they call negative net migration. However, census estimates have a quirk. They run mid-year to mid-year, and immigration policy has been changing fast. The latest data doesn't yet reflect the second half of 2025. And experts at the American Enterprise Institute and the Brookings Institution think that when you take that into account, net migration actually shrank in 2025. Moreover, they say we could see an even bigger drop in 2026.
Okay, let that sink in as I continue to play.
And if that actually happens, the overall population growth may actually turn negative this year. It's unclear whether the administration has fully grappled with what that means long term. President Trump has promised to reduce the immigrant population in the United States. The White House says they are focused on creating jobs for native-born Americans and reducing costs for them as well. Many economists disagree with the premise, but the Trump administration insists that having fewer immigrants in the country will help achieve those goals. One thing is for sure. As immigration slows and the country debates Trump's approach, the demographic consequences are starting to show, and the U.S. is edging closer.
Okay, I'll stop the video there because the real focus is immigration. No, excuse me, the real focus is not immigration, it's population decline. And we know that in the United States, statistics have shown that immigration has masked this population decline for some time now. And now migration is adding to the very real issue of population decline. But migration is not the only issue that we are facing right now. So tonight, I want to explore a different kind of strategy to this problem, a different kind of resistance. Choosing presence over efficiency, repair over avoidance, commitment over replacement, strong relationships may be the last place where we remain fully human. Not just with regards to migration, not just with regards to the United States, but with regards to the introduction of AI, dating apps, chatbot husbands and wives, which also seem to be a very real threat to humanity and population in not just the United States, but potentially all over the world. Now, Elon Musk said something very interesting, and I found it quite fascinating. He said that the next most valuable space is going to be where human beings are. Human spaces are going to be the most valuable thing in this next fourth industrial revolution. And I did ask this question, are we ready? Because we know with the introduction of social media, AI, and technology being a very integral part of our life, it has shaped and dramatically changed the way that we do relationships. with this ghosting culture, cancel culture, no patience culture, me culture. Yes, we'll be reaching out for ourselves. Humans will be reaching out for humans in the next era. But are we ready? And do we have what it will take to have very healthy relationships when we do reach out for each other so that we do not destroy each other? I wanted to explore something in this live that could potentially be a solution to that. Why don't we just repair the issues? Why don't we just repair the loneliness epidemic? Why don't we just strive to actually repair what is causing us to not have strong relationships? Because we're going to need very strong ones as a form of resistance. And with that, I wanted to share a video with you that I thought I thought might be quite helpful for what we are hoping to achieve on this station. Have a listen.
You know, I read somewhere that the fewest babies were born in America last year since 1979, causing the fertility rate to drop to 1.62 births per woman. Want to change those statistics?
Seriously? You think one child will help solve the population decline problem we face as a nation? Did you know that 17% of childless adults under the age of 50 said they wouldn't have kids due to financial?
Jason,
Well, it is funny what he is rambling off, but okay, let me not spoil the joke.
want to change the statistic?
Oh,
Hey, celebration.
And with that, welcome to Pokes on Relationships. Here we speak everything relationships, and today we're going to speak about how we can change that statistic. Okay, I digress. But on a serious note, I really do believe that as we're reaching for human spaces and we're able to connect better with human beings, with ourselves, not just in a romantic sense as it was with this clip, but also in just areas that require relationship, in our networking relationship in terms of work, in our doctor and patient relationship, in our relationship with our friends, with our children. I think that if we are able to start creating a society again that has a very strong fiber of relationships, that no matter what new technology or disruptive technology comes our way, we will be able to stand. Now, what does resistance look like? I wanted to share a few things that I think might be something that we can start taking a step towards repairing the status quo of relationships in the world at large. So, for example, sometimes relationship looks like staying. And I do want to put a caveat, not in toxic relationships, not in abusive relationships, but I do think that we should be able to practice staying in having difficult conversations. We need to start practicing being honest with each other, not being avoidant, not ghosting, not canceling, just straight up honesty, very refreshing honesty, and letting people know where we stand with ourselves. No more games. No more games. Staying with a partner when algorithms offer easier options. When there's an easier option to turn to technology, be intentional. Choose a human. Staying present when distractions seem simpler. Honestly, something as simple as being present in a conversation instead of looking at your phone, instead of rushing over to scroll over the next Instagram post or the next tweet, be present. Tonight's idea is very simple. We want to look at and identify the little actions and the little steps that we can do in order to make future big impacts to strengthen our society, to repair our society, and to form good and strong relationships. I'm saying this because technology creates resistance and makes resistance seem like an inconvenience. It does. Technology has made things so easy that now when we have to just apply a little bit of effort, it really feels like a big inconvenience. But here's the thing. Love requires that. Healthy relationships require that. Human beings require patience. We require for us to be inconvenienced sometimes. And these are some of the things that we can start actively choosing so that we can start even repairing ourselves and become just better human beings. But also, we'll have to resist this culture that makes real connection feel unnecessary. Because right now, that's where we're at. We are being trained to replace instead of repair. We've been trained to optimize instead of understand. We've been trained to just swipe, 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 swipe away instead of stay. Every system around us is rewarding exit, the easy way out, convenience, faster, optimize. But the truth is, with human beings, human bond rewards endurance, patience, and sometimes having to take a little bit of just nonsense sometimes, but good nonsense, not bad nonsense. Conflict, we interpret conflict and then we just go mute. Whenever there's conflict, we go mute. Not good. We don't know how to be in healthy confrontations. Every confrontation now is a potential nightmarish TikTok that gets thrown all over the internet, whereas usually in a healthy relationship, the reason why the relationship is healthy is because of privacy. Intimacy thrives where there's some level of protection and privacy. But now people are afraid to have genuine arguments in relationship in case they might just be the next trending thing on TikTok. We've got to repair that. Boredom. When we start getting bored, we scroll. Instead of taking gentle strolls and walks with each other and doing the little things and simple things. And now, instead of dealing with loneliness, what do? We substitute. These are issues that we need to face. And technology has definitely made anything that makes leaving easy. And it just makes love seem so fragile right now. And we considering when we look at commitment, we think that's slowing us down. Meanwhile, patience actually matures us. But friction also teaches us who we are. If we are always going to be leaning for frictionless things, we never grow. And we grow by the problems we solve. So resistance in this form, especially in relationship, is choosing formation over convenience. It's hard work. It is going to be hard work. It is not going to be easy. Then again, I always ask myself this question. What's the other option? What does the other road look like? Let us not joke when the forerunners and the people who are creating this technology themselves don't even know to what extent the human race could potentially be destroyed. We don't know if we could be extinct. I don't believe we will be if we put in the work and we do the hard work. So to just leave us with 3 simple questions that we can take, 3 simple actions that we can take in our daily life every day. See, sometimes we think that we need big, broad, glamorous plans in order to change what we're doing. But compound interest is a very powerful phenomenon in life. That small actions done a little bit every day can over time compound to become something so great. And so when I consider the potential of population decline in various nations, when I consider the potential of human extinction, for lack of a better word, it might seem like it's dramatic, but I always prefer to plan and be prepared than to just ignore it and think it will blow over and then to be caught unprepared. These 3 actions that we can do every single day in our various relationships can help move us forward, and I'd like to share that with you. Number 1, choose presence over productivity. Find undistracted minutes. Keep eye contact without an agenda. Whenever you're speaking to somebody, it seems like such a big ask, but if you are addicted to technology, it seems like it's a small thing, but when you're addicted to technology, you'll realize how very difficult it is to do this, but let's try anyway. Number 2, repair over pride. To return after rapture, apologizing first, things that we don't do a lot these days. We're very quick to find where we were victimized, find where we were gaslit. And mind you, I'm not saying that that's not happening, but just what if? What if we decided that we were going to take these actions? If everybody took this action, I know I'm being very optimistic here. Not everybody's going to do it, of course, but imagine if enough people did. Sometimes it's not a lot. It's just a few people doing the right thing every time, and eventually the rest will follow. So repair over pride, that's number 2. Number 3, ritual over randomness. Choose to have meals, walks, check-ins. Don't just randomly hope that you'll bump into somebody. Actually plan intimacy, plan relationship, be intentional. There's nothing that, if you leave to itself, ever improves on its own. Everything that becomes good has intent, has force, has discipline, has determination backing it. When you usually just leave stuff alone, it often tends towards destruction. And so my encouragement is, let's do these things. Let's do these 3 small things. And these are small rebellions against a disposable world. Rebellion in a good way. Rebellion in a way to, number 1, repair this very real problem of population decline that some countries are facing, and just generally humanity as a whole. We know that there's AI, but honestly, we can do it. You don't fight the future by hating machines. You fight it by loving people well. There's an analogy that I've heard and I love it, is that sometimes, especially when bank tellers were being taught how to detect fake money, they exposed them to the original so much. They were so used to seeing the original and the real thing that when the fake thing came, it was very easy to pick it up. And so, as opposed to just looking at negative, or as opposed to always focusing on not liking machines, because not all machines are bad, machines can be useful. Why not rather focus on the right thing, loving people well? Strong relationships, as I say, in this next era is not going to be an issue of sentiment. It's strategic, it's survival, it's resistance. Thank you for joining me on this live. Let me know your thoughts. What are some of the things that you've done in your own personal life where you decided to rebuild a relationship and it ended up saving your life, saving the lives of those around you, and it ended up creating a very powerful community and network for you? I'm very interested to find out, and also let me know your ideas and suggestions and thoughts of how we as humanity can love each other better. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, bye-bye.